Good morning, good morning, good morning. Reverend Dr. David Goldberg here, and welcome to Unity on the Avenue Spiritual Center. We are a diverse, inclusive community that welcomes all people and, coming in October, all pets for our annual pet blessing. We honor all faith traditions, including those not on a faith path, and all relational orientations. So wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. And on this beautiful day, on this extraordinary summer day in beautiful Colorado, thank you, Pamela, for the beautiful music of The Sound of Silence as we explore the labyrinth as a spiritual tool. You know, as we step into that, I just want to honor all of the people who make our weekend services possible. We have our technology team and our music team and our chaplains and our board of trustees in leadership roles. So it takes a whole lot of people to bring this service to you every week. And I'm so grateful for all of the love and support and the open hearts who continue to be in service, who continue to give, who continue to share. So for those of you with us in the sanctuary, blessings and welcome. It's a joy to be not speaking to empty chairs. For those of you who are joining us on our beautiful labyrinth outside, you can hear all of the beautiful vibration and all of the wonderful music and all of the great words, and you are welcome as well. And for those of you joining us online, you too are where you're supposed to be. And you know, as part of our consciousness, everything that we do here at Unity on the Avenue is grounded in prayer. Everything that we bring to you, all of our messages, all of our music, all of our programs, we first go within. We first tap in to see what is Spirit's highest and best idea for us. And a powerful group of people, an amazing group of volunteers with extraordinarily high consciousness who continue to support us in doing that are our prayer chaplains. Now, these beautiful beings have gone through special training. They continue to hold our community in prayer. They continue to hold each and every one of you in prayer. And if you have a specific prayer request, please do reach out, and it would be the joy and the honor of our chaplain prayer partners to hold you in that space of deep knowing and high consciousness. And it gives me great joy to share the platform today with one of our beloved chaplain prayer partners, the one and only, the ubiquitous Alice Jordan.
Well, I'm just going to take that down a notch. I have meditative prayer today, and it's offered by a fellow prayer chaplain, Evan Emery. And appropriately, it's called Labyrinth. Shifting our attention from the busyness of this day, we focus on God's presence. We acknowledge our true nature as divine. We thoughtfully move through each sacred moment as we open ourselves to the voice of Spirit. We see beyond what our human eyes can see and realize that universal good is always at work in our lives. In all circumstances, divine wisdom guides us to the right and perfect solution. Taking a deep breath now, we center ourselves in the stillness of God and pause for a moment in the silence. Giving thanks, we move out of the silence with a renewed strength of spirit. We are grateful for what lies before us, knowing divine order and wholeness prevail. We joyfully expect harmony and success in all that we do. And so it may be.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alice. Thank you to all of our chaplain prayer partners for the amazing work and continuing to hold our community in consciousness. And please join me now in our statement of faith. This is what we're all about here at Unity on the Avenue. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Indeed, and continuing in that place of high energy, continuing in that place of tremendous joy, what an honor it is to welcome back to Unity on the Avenue an artist who is of such high consciousness that her light continues to shine in the lives of so many in this country, around the world. High consciousness, beautiful being, extraordinary creativity. Please, a warm Unity on the Avenue welcome for Robyn Hackett.
I should have you repeat that again, record it, and I can put that on my website. I love that opening.
However I can support you.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. I'd like to share a song with you that has become my life's mantra, and I hope that you take it home with you in your heart. We are all just mirrors. In your faces I see clearer, clearer than I've ever seen before. The heart is where to live from, to give all you can give from. This is what I truly know for sure. And love is what we're here for, to give and give more. Oh, love. And love is what we're here for, to give and give instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, 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 love. I am an instrument of my peace. I am an instrument of my love. I said love, oh love. To give and give more, more, oh love, and love is what we're here for. To give and give more. I said love, 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 and love, 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 oh. Love, 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 oh. Love, 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 sweet love. you. Thank you.
Love is what we're here for. You're singing our song, sister.
Yes.
And Robyn, please join us anytime. We love you. We appreciate your energy. We love your music. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So as we get started today, I also want to acknowledge another wonderful being in our presence in the form of a gentleman by the name of Steve Kinsfather. Steve and I go way back in spiritual community. Steve has spent decades in service to our young people as a teacher, as a mentor, as a colleague, as a friend, as a support system. And now he finds himself in that role of student once again as a student in ministerial school. And Steve and I have put our heads together and connected on what we are calling the Legacy Labyrinth Project. It is something that we are launching that we are so proud here at Unity on the Avenue. It is an effort to refresh our beautiful labyrinth in our gardens. There are so many ways for you to participate. You can join us on the Legacy Labyrinth Project team and help us see what the future holds. We have no plans, we have no energy around what it looks like or feels like. We want you to join us in that conversation. Or Steve, as part of his expertise, is going to be leading a visioning process. So we can just take a moment and tap into Spirit's highest and best for Unity on the Avenue, for our beautiful outdoor space that continues to serve so many people. And thank you for those of us who are joining us outside today on the Labyrinth. And of course, we always welcome your prayer support. As I suggested earlier, everything we do is grounded in prayer. So please continue to know the highest and best as we move through this process. And we also, in addition to your time and your consciousness, we welcome your treasure and your gifts and your tithes, specifically for the Legacy Labyrinth Project. Now, our goal for this project is $25,000 to allow us to refresh the labyrinth and the gardens and any infrastructure that might require as well. And I'm so pleased and proud and humbled to announce to you that as of today, we're already 20% toward our goal because of some very generous donors within our community, from outside of our community, and gifts from your board of trustees who will continue to serve in so many ways in beautiful leadership roles. So, if you would like to see more information, you can download this flyer from our website, unityontheavenue.org, or if it's easier for you, email us and we can send you a copy electronically, or we can pop a copy in the mail for you. You can email us at unityontheavenue.org. And we're taking off, and we don't have a time frame, and we don't know what it's going to look like. We just know Spirit is calling us in this direction. It's going to be bright, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be amazing, and we will only be complete with your participation. So today was actually supposed to be a Sunday off for me, and my delightful and amazing friend, Reverend Dr. Kathleen Lenover, was going to be speaking. And I asked Kathleen to speak because I've known her for years. We were in ministerial school together. She's a former Catholic nun and a former financial planner. Now, how's that for an interesting dichotomy? She left her vow of poverty and stepped into her vow of prosperity. And I thought, that's exactly who we need to chair our Legacy Labyrinth Project. So Steve and I were going to introduce the project, and then Kathleen was going to speak to you today about labyrinths and the importance of a spiritual community in her life. And unfortunately, from my human perspective, she made her transition within the past week or so, and she's actually being laid to rest today in her hometown of Springfield, Ohio. So what I wanted to do today in expanding my talk is to talk about labyrinths and legacy. And so that is who is sharing the platform with us as well. Reverend Dr. Kathleen Lenover And thank you for those who were wondering if we got the letters a little confused, if perhaps the editor missed this particular typo. And no, we didn't. So when Kathleen and I graduated from ministerial school, I gave her this gift in a shopping bag of these 3 letters. And she's lovely and caring and honoring. And the first letter she pulls out is the E. And she sets it on the countertop and says, oh, that's nice. Then she pulls out the R, and she's like, ER? Okay. And then she pulls out the V, and she really didn't know what to do with all of those letters in that order. And she said, oh, Irv, thank you so much. So from that moment on, my dear friend Kathleen became my buddy Irv. And I just wanted to bring her voice and her energy because we had lengthy conversations. Mei Lin had the opportunity to join us to talk about some of the music today. Pamela brought her consciousness and her high energy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about legacy, I'm going to talk a little bit about labyrinths, and I'm going to talk a little bit about unity on the Avenue. So one of the things that Kathleen and I were able to do is to join a pilgrimage to travel to Chartres, France. And it was one of my first experiences with mindful travel or conscious travel. So we spent a week in Paris with 40 of our best friends, including the Kinsfathers, and we did a day of conscious cooking, and we did a day of conscious photography all over Paris, and we did a day of conscious meditation, and it was a really wonderful high energy week in Paris. And then the second week, we actually traveled 2 hours north to the little community of Chartres and spent a week working on our spiritual practice, preparing us to walk the labyrinth in the Chartres Cathedral. Now, for those of you who may be new to the concept of labyrinths, sometimes labyrinths and mazes are confused, because a maze is built to challenge your mind. If any of you have ever walked a corn maze, I can't say that I've actually walked one, I've gotten lost in one, and that's exactly what they're supposed to do. You have dead ends, and you have to turn around, and you have to think, and you have to remember. A labyrinth, on the other hand, is a spiritual tool. It's a meditative tool. So there's one path in, and there's one path out. So it frees your mind to do the spiritual work that you're called to do. Sometimes people walk with a thought or a mantra. Sometimes people walk with a question. Sometimes people dance in joy and in celebration. There have been couples walking the labyrinth together. One of the things that I so love about the labyrinth is there's no wrong way to do it. There are no rules. And labyrinths have been found in every spiritual tradition since the beginning of time. You name the culture, you name the race you share when they appeared on the planet, and some form of labyrinth has appeared as a part of that civilization to help anchor those beings in what they know, in the power, in the presence, and helping connect with their own individual expression of their divinity and their understanding of a higher power. So I love that labyrinths are mystical, and I love that we can do whatever we want. So back to our little group in Chartres then, we spent a week and we made portable altars that we could travel with. And what was speaking to us? And we did one-on-one conversations, and we had small group conversations, and we did outings as a community, and we sat in silence. And it was such a beautiful and anchoring and powerful time in my life. And little did I know that when we were able to actually step onto the Chartres Cathedral labyrinth, how extraordinarily powerful even that would be for me. So the people who put together this particular experience, Reverend Cynthia James and her beloved Carl Studna, and Larry and Chris Katzmeyer, who have worked with Veritas, an international organization created to identify and preserve and build labyrinths around the world. There were some really amazing, awesome beings as a part of this experience. And part of our work was to kind of be with, when we stepped onto the labyrinth, what is it that we were going to do? Were we going to sing? Were we going to have a mantra? Were we going to ask a question? Were we going to be in prayer? Because you see, again, there's no wrong way to do it. And, as you've heard me share before, what goes on in vagueness stays in vagueness. So if the invitation was for us to be as clear as we could be before we stepped onto the labyrinth, to make it even that much more powerful for us. So the day came, our group was escorted around to the side of the cathedral, this massive cathedral that has been around for centuries. We literally had a key to the side door, and we were escorted in. Down below, and I believe the Chartres Cathedral had been rebuilt at least 3 times. It had burned to the ground. It had been bombed during war. It had fallen into ruins, and they kept rebuilding the cathedral on this same space. And they kept recreating this beautiful 11-circuit labyrinth in the nave of the cathedral. So we walk in this side door, we go downstairs, we have a moment to meditate, to pray, whatever one's particular tradition was, in front of the tomb of the Black Madonna. That's a whole series of talks in and of itself. And we continued around and saw different parts of the cathedral from different parts of time. And then, as we were walking up the stairs on the other side of the cathedral, the stairs were all lit with candles because this was an evening walk. And once we got upstairs, the entire nave of the cathedral was lit with candles, just for us, for our particular group of pilgrims. And we later learned that these candles were collected by the sisters when they burned to such a point where they didn't feel it was safe to keep them burning as part of prayer offerings, but they contributed them to this effort. So we are surrounded by hundreds of candles that were lit by beautiful beings with prayerful intentions. And I can just feel it. I can just feel it at the core of my being. Not only that, when we stepped into the space, unbeknownst to us, a Baroque chamber orchestra with 7 beautiful musicians was playing live music. They were doing live chants for us as we walked the labyrinth. And as the event was unfolding, our beloved Reverend Cynthia was the first person to step onto the labyrinth. And I had done all of my work that week, and my mantra was going to be, I am good enough. So I had worked with this for a week in all shapes and forms and poked at it, and I knew that was mine to do and so forth. So Cynthia steps onto the labyrinth, and she is called to dance the labyrinth, and her beauty and her grace and her elegance. And yeah, my human self says the best I can do is take off my shoes and hopefully feel the energy through my socks. So I'm the next one up, and I'm behind her, and I step onto the labyrinth, and I burst into tears. And the tears just keep coming. And I'm not afraid of crying. I appreciate it, I enjoy it. And it caught me off guard in that moment because I had done my work and I had my mantra, and this is what I was going to do. And as I took my first few steps, all of my work around I am good enough became I am good. So that was my invitation to release my own limitations. Spirit is never saying you're good enough. God never says, yes, but. The divine never says, "You're almost awesome." The message is, "I am good. You are good." You don't need another class. You don't need another book. You don't need another seminar. You are the perfect child in whom God is well pleased. So fast forward to earlier this year, then, when I had the great joy to have lunch with Reverend Susan, and she said she's announcing her retirement, and would I consider stepping into Unity on the Avenue as a transitional minister to help this beautiful group of beings determine what comes next? And I said, well, I would be honored to do so. And as we continued to have the conversation, and as I met with the board and we were having the conversation, one of the questions to me was, well, why are you thinking you want to do this? I said, I've spoken here in this community several times. I love the sanctuary, I love the house, and the labyrinth is speaking to my soul. So that is one of the main reasons I am here, is because of the labyrinth. And that is why we created the Legacy Labyrinth Project, because labyrinths have been around since the beginning of time. This beautiful community has existed since 1962 in one form or another, serving the residents of the greater Park Hill neighborhood of Denver. We have members who have been in our community 20, 30, 40 years and more. When we have people who are here for the first time today. So again, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. And in conversation with Kathleen, I know what my beautiful friend was going to share with you is the sound of silence. And when she graduated from Catholic high school and stepped into the convent and became a nun for 13 years, she earned her degree in her teacher's license, and she taught in inner city schools. And it was one of those, she would describe it as a dark night of the soul, when it was becoming more and more clear to her that the sisterhood wasn't for her, and or that she was complete with that experience. And she said, and I prayed and I talked and I counseled, and she kept getting this message that yes, she was a child of God and her work was different. So when Kathleen made that difficult decision and stepped away from the sisterhood, stepped away from the Sisters of Charity, she had a few different jobs in different industries, and soon stepped into that position of being a financial planner. She was a certified financial planner. She was a certified estate planner. She had 2 or 3 other certifications. Yes, indeed, my friend Kathleen was certifiable. And she only worked with clients that had portfolios of roughly 1.5 million or more. And she helped thousands of people build and maintain wealth. And as she released that firm then, 30 years later, and stepped into ministry, she created a special focus ministry called Education for Abundant Living. And that is what she wanted to do in her ministry, is to work with like-minded, spiritually oriented people to have conversations about prosperity, to have conversations about abundance, and yes, to have conversations about money. Because guess what? Money isn't bad. Money is what we use on the planet. It's something that we all need. So to be able to talk about it openly and honestly and realize where our blocks are and where our opportunities are, I was so blessed and so grateful when I said, Lenover, I really want you to chair this Legacy Labyrinth project that we have going on at Unity. She said, honey, let me think about it. And the next day, before I could even call her, she called me and said, I'm in. So in the 2 months that I had been here, she had been here 2 or 3 times already, even in these times of limited gathering in person. So I feel as though Kathleen is here. I feel that she is still shepherding this project with us and for us. and that is a part of her legacy. One of my great joys was helping Kathleen with her latest book, and it will be published posthumously, and I'm the editor and I'm changing the cover. I didn't like the one she chose, so I'm putting that picture on the cover. So there we are. You die, you don't get a vote. So look for I Am Perfect for This, Reflections from Entrepreneurs, later this year. And as a part of her introduction to her book, Kathleen wrote about legacy. She said, "It has become increasingly clear to me in my work throughout my life that legacy," and she said it much more eloquently than I. That's why I helped her edit. I didn't help her write. But in short, in essence, she said, legacy consists of 3 different elements. Legacy consists of following your passion. Legacy consists of continuing to serve in whatever way speaks to you, and legacy consists in serving others. So we open this Legacy Labyrinth project to this beautiful community, however it calls you, however it serves you. It is part of our stewardship of this amazing work that we are taking what we have and potentially taking it to the next level. And we need you, and we want you, and we want your consciousness. So on behalf of Reverend Dr. Kathleen Lenover, Steve Kinsfather, Marla Music, who's joining us in this beautiful effort, thank you, Marla, for all that you have done to maintain the Labyrinth over the years and allow us to get to this point in our evolution. On behalf of all of these beloveds, and certainly Reverend Susan and the heart and the love that she has put into the Labyrinth, join us. Join us as we step into the future. Join us as we continue to serve. And as Robyn so beautifully sang, join us as we continue to love. Please join me in prayer. How sweet it is to be together in community, whatever that looks like, whatever that sounds like, whatever that feels like. Because what we know is that time and space are human constructs. And so we just bless where we are right now. We bless all the beloveds in all of the spaces and all of the ways and all that they are connecting with us here in this time, in this place. And what I know is that the legacy of every being within the sound of my voice is absolutely secure. Because the only legacy that you need, the only legacy that matters, is that you are a perfect child of God. And so I stand with you in that energy, in that essence, in that calling, and in that knowing. And as we engage in new work, as we engage in different projects, as we invite new and exciting and powerful and glorious beings into this community, we know that we are all supported and that we are all uplifted as the rising tide raises all boats. So we just rest. We rest in the knowing that there are so many spiritual tools that we can utilize. Be it prayer, be it meditation, be it the loving presence and power of the labyrinth, whether in the shape of a 7-circuit labyrinth that mirrors the geometry of the brain, sacred geometry, or whether it's the Snoopy Labyrinth at the Charles Schulz Museum. We bless all pilgrims, however they choose to engage their divinity and however they choose to express themselves. So we stand in the power, we stand in the presence of all who have come before. We bless them, we honor them, we release them into their greater yet to be. And we come together right here and right now, knowing that this is our work, that this is ours to do. And we choose to engage in that with our hearts, with our minds, with our talents, with our treasures, whatever we can do, whatever we are called to do, whatever we choose to do. We know that it is blessed and a blessing. And I simply say thank you. Thank you for the outpouring of good. Thank you for the positive energy. Thank you for the high consciousness. And thank you for allowing all of us to be in service to this community where love is what we do. Blessings abound. God is extraordinary. I am grateful. And so it is. Amen. And now, my friends, it's that opportunity for us to join in that collective consciousness of creative giving. However you choose to support this community, so many in so many ways. We bless you, we hold you up, we honor you, we move forward with you. And we have many ways for you to give of your treasure, and we greatly support it, and we thank you, and we take our fiduciary responsibility seriously as we use your gifts and your tithes in taking this powerful message of oneness, of creativity, of connection, of love to the world. Indeed, there are 4 ways that you can give to Unity on the Avenue. For those who are continuing to send us checks, we bless you, we thank you so much. You can give online at unityontheavenue.org. It's very easy. You can use the mobile app, or you can text to give. And any other way that you choose to share with us, we humbly and honorably accept, because it is your gifts, it is your consciousness that allows us to continue to do the good that we're doing in the world. And please, join me in blessing and honoring your generosity and your gifts and your tithes. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Today I saw the sun. I stood out in the rain and watched the eagle fly again. I heard a baby cry and walked right through a storm and felt the wind upon my face. And all the while I could not help but see the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yes, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, oh Lord, yes I am, and I'm hopeful, yes, and I'm so full, and I'm thankful, I am. I hugged an old oak tree, the earth beneath my feet, and saw a shooting star above. I looked into your eyes and touched an open heart and fell into a whole lot of love. And all the while I could not help but see, oh, the life that lives and breathes in you and me. And I'm peaceful, yeah, thankful, Lord. I am. And I'm thankful, Lord. I am. Oh, I am. Yes, I am. So grateful, so thankful, so hopeful. Yes, I am. I am. Oh, I am. So thankful, so thankful, so thankful. I am. Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you.
So grateful. So, my friends, if you have any questions about labyrinths in general, if you need any more information about the Legacy Labyrinth Project, please do email Steve or myself at unityontheavenue.org. We'll get back with you just as soon as we can. And as we head toward our close then, I just wanted to add a personal note of deep gratitude for the outpouring of love and wishes for Rick's and my birthday last week. We had a lovely little celebration, mostly family. It was heart-centered, it was love-felt, and your cards and your messages of honoring and support just mean the world to both of us. So thank you for that. So we go forth then. We are complete. Go forth in power. Go forth in peace.
I am walking in the Spirit. I am talking in the Spirit. I am learning in the Spirit. And I'm turning
in the Spirit.
And I'm growing
in the Spirit.
And it's showing
In the Spirit.
I am walking with the Spirit in front of me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm healing in the Spirit. And I'm praying
with the Spirit.
And I'm sheltered
with the Spirit.
And I'm strengthened
in the Spirit.
I am loved
Loving in the Spirit.
and I'm loving.
Loving with the Spirit.
I am walking with the Spirit in front of me.
Yes, I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me.